Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually going to start this video with some driving footage. Well, hoping I could get some driving footage. I'm hoping that it's to a point where I can at least drive it to and from anywhere, and this is going to be the maiden voyage. So I'm on my way to my boy Devin's house, and we'll see how it goes. Yo, my phone about to die, but this thing is driving amazing. Yo, this thing drives. Listen to it. Sounds so good. I can imagine what the vacuum is. Too bad I only got 4-speed and an automatic diff. I only got like 45, 50 miles an hour. Back roads it is. All right, so real quick, I went to go get a quote from the exhaust shop to see how much they'll charge me to weld this thing on. And the car is like, it's acting like it doesn't have gas, which it should be just fine. And the last clip you saw of me driving, it was driving fine, and then like towards the end of the day, it was acting like it didn't have gas. So topped it off, I put 7 gallons of gas in it, and it's still doing the same thing. So I went today, like I said, I was gonna go get a quote to see how much this was and wash it because it's got pollen all over it and it didn't want to drive. And guess what I found? Oh, I looked at this fuel filter because I thought it wasn't getting gas, and bro, this is empty. There's no gas coming in here. It's barely enough just to keep it running. And even when it's on, there's like no gas in here. So if you look, there's like sediment in the bottom. Look at that, because I cleaned this. Remember, this is dirty. So it looks like I'm gonna have to drop the gas tank and clean it out, man. And obviously clean out all of these lines, blow them out, because that's definitely, I'm getting rust clogging up the lines because I don't even got no gas in here. You can see there's no gas. There's just enough barely to keep it running. So that sucks. All right, I'm not gonna be like recording a whole bunch just because I'm trying to get this done, and this was like unexpected. But I'm about to drain the gas now. Assuming this is a 7-gallon tank, I've got 8 gallons or 7.5 gallons. If there's still gas coming out of it at that point, then I'll just leave the gas what's in there and drop the tank with the gas that's in it. So on to draining, dropping the tank. I know there's a cover inside the car that's got to come off to disconnect the filler neck. Otherwise, should be pretty straightforward. So as expected, this is a 7.5-ish gallon tank. So it's got 5, 6, 7, and like a quarter. So it's like a 7.3 gallon tank. And yeah, so all the gas is out of it. That's bubbling up real nice. So I'm gonna have to put a layer of paint on that when that's all cleaned up, because that's peeling off. I'm not gonna deal with that. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to drop the exhaust, drop the tank, do a bunch of stuff. Look, the vent is kinked right there. You can see that. Yeah, it's got a kink on it. So I'm gonna just get after this and just pull it out. All right, so I got the tank out, and the tank itself doesn't look too bad. I have not looked inside of it, but I'm gonna have to change this hose right here, this hose right here, that hose right there, that hose right there, this hose right here, this hose right here, these two right here. So I'm gonna have to take all these hoses out and replace them so they're new, because I know they're falling apart inside, because they look like it. Y'all looking at this. Oh, this ain't even looking good, bro. It's not looking too hot. So like my dad said, I'm gonna have to throw some stuff in here to figure something out, man. This is the original gas tank for this car. So you guys seen a little bit inside or whatever, right? I took the fuel level sender out and you can see inside of it. Well, let me show you what I got out of it. Look at this giant piece. So I can imagine, good thing it didn't go back in. I can imagine this is probably what was stopping everything, because it was at the top of the tank floating and stuff. So good thing I got it out. It doesn't seem like there's anything else big, like no big chunks or nothing in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this out the best that I can, and I'm gonna do some research before I put this back in, because I definitely wanna take care of this for sure. I don't know how, but my dad told me to just fill this up with like washers and put some gas in here, and it would work. It would clean it all out. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do. Pour like half a gallon in there, put a bunch of bolts, and see if I can clean that up. All right, so I got everything here. This is not getting replaced, but everything here that needs to get something that's replaced, this is just staying inside the car. But all of these hoses I want to replace, because they're just, you know, if you look at them, they're all cracked and nasty looking. So see that? Look, they're all falling apart, and this could be part of my issue with the gas. Like, look at that. So I'm just gonna change all these fuel hoses, and I found that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get like a foot of raw chain and some distilled white vinegar. I'm gonna put the chain in here, put distilled white vinegar in here, like try and cap this off, cover this up, and just shake it around, you know, every 20-30 minutes or something. Just give it a good couple shakes and get that. And then I probably am gonna seal the gas tank too with something, maybe pour 15 or something of that nature. All right, so I measured everything using a license plate. License plate is 6 by 12 inches because I didn't have a dang ruler around or a measuring tape. And I found that I need 10.25 feet, so I'm gonna get 11 feet of this size line, because all of that's the same, and then this is 2 feet. So 11 feet of this, 2 feet of this guy. Yo, so I'm leaving Advance, right? And bro, I just had to go there like 4 times. I had to return like 4 times, yo, because I asked for 11 feet of fuel line. He gave me 11 feet of non-fuel rated line. So I went back in, got the line. Then he gave me 8 feet of fuel rated line. Good thing I had another hose in here that I knew the length of it, because, you know, he was shorting me 3 feet. And I went back to go get the line, and he tried to give me 11 feet of non-fuel rated line, bro. I just had to leave a couple times, bro. I finally got 11 feet of fuel rated line. And the bigger hose they didn't have, so I'm gonna have to wait to go somewhere else tomorrow. Right now I'm on my way to the big box store to get a foot of chain and some white distilled vinegar for the gas tank. So see y'all maybe tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow, since it's super dark outside, as you can see. All right, so I got everything here that I was looking for. Some distilled white vinegar to help with the rust. I got a chain to agitate the rust inside the tank, so I'm not like trying to, you know, fish for bolts. I got 11 feet of fuel hose and 2 feet of the vent for this guy. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the gas tank with the vinegar in that, so it can start sitting and doing its thing. And in the meantime, change all the hoses and swap everything over. So I'm about to get right to it, man. Let's just take a minute though to see how small this damn gas tank is. Damn, bro. Like, shit holds no gas whatsoever. 7 gallons is that's crazy for me, like, to me, for a car, bro. And according to the thing, they came with a 12-gallon tank, so I have to find the 12 gallons so that I can actually drive somewhere. I run out of gas everywhere I go. Guys, I am not sure how to approach this, because this bottom side is where it's rusty, and like it's the high point of the dang gas tank. So like I don't know how I'm gonna like keep the vinegar in it and shake it around without it, like I don't know what, like I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. All right, so this is what I end up coming up with. I ended up putting the filler neck on and throwing the fuel level sender back in it, even though I didn't want this in there because I don't want this getting messed up. But I'm about to go ahead, put the chain inside of it, and then throw the vinegar in now. I'm putting a whole gallon in. Don't even care. Oh, there goes some of it. Now I gotta swish it around, let it sit, swish it around, let it sit, swish it around, let it sit, repeat and rinse, repeat and rinse. Alright, I just plugged this off with the cap that I have from my oil drum and just tighten this clamp down so that I don't get splashed and stuff. Those guys I'm gonna try and find caps for, but I don't think I have any caps for them, and I'm gonna just try and plug it off so I don't lose any vinegar. I'd say that worked out. Got a couple caps. This guy is probably the loosest one here, but it's still nice and snug. This guy also nice and snug. All right, so I'm gonna just start swishing it around. I forgot about these two, and now I smell like vinegar. Man, I gotta smell vinegar for the rest of my time out here. That kind of sucks. Oh well. Okay, now I can shake this around without getting splashed. Excuse the noise, my neighbor's pressure washing his truck. But this is all I'm doing. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep doing that over and over and over every 10 minutes or so for the next, I don't know, day and a half. I'm gonna just keep swishing it back and forth, cleaning it all up. They say 24 hours to let the vinegar do its thing and remove the rust or whatever, and the chains to help agitate the rust and all the loose stuff off. So good thing only the bottom of the tank is what has any issues. So it should be relatively simple to take care of. I'm glad I was able to keep it inside and swish it around without losing vinegar, which was my main concern. Because, you know, I don't know how to use my brain and do simple things like that. So I'm gonna throw all these fuel hoses on right now, or at least, you know, swap out what's here ready to go. All right, so I got this thing filled with 6 gallons of vinegar. All right, I got it in the garage because I'm done for the day. Beautiful sunset. And it needs to sit. All right, it's definitely working because where it was hitting, the rust is like pretty much gone. But remember, it has that big lump in the middle, so I had to put more than what I expected so that the vinegar can actually sit and eat that stuff up. Also, I've got the direct to metal stuff. So actually, I'm gonna open this so you guys can see. Let me open it real quick. I only got one hand, and my phone's on 6%, so I'm trying to hurry up. So I picked up this KBS Coatings clear diamond finish. It's a direct to metal formula, and I was watching this guy, and he like painted some stuff in direct metal, and it was some durable ass stuff, man. So this was like 30 bucks for the can. I think it was like $27 or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I got the high gloss the high gloss one. I don't know how to tell which one is which whip, but there was a high gloss and a semi gloss, and I got the high gloss. So this is what I'm gonna use for the visors. At least I'm gonna try this. And I mean, according to the YouTube videos, this stuff was really good. Everybody had so much, so many good things to say about it. So if it works, that'll save me $120 on having to paint the visors. It's a little dark in here, but yeah, I'm gonna get these things painted up. In the next clip, I'll probably spray these. I'm going to bed for the night. I need to go eat. On 2%. But when I say go to bed, what I really mean is future project, future project, future project. What I really mean is I'm jumping on Hell Divers 2. I'm gonna be hell diving, and I'm gonna jump on Remnant 2, and I'm gonna be playing that. So you got online, if you're on them games, drop your PlayStation Network tag or your PC tag so I can add you so we can play, boy. Let's go. All right, we're here next day. I think this is day 3 of this video. Maybe day 4, I don't know. But I'm back with the fuel. Sitting here, I did not touch it yet. It definitely like released pressure because this came out, so that's scary. But look what I've got. I'm gonna open it with y'all right now. My elbow. All right. This is supposed to be the vacuum advance. It's in a super old box. Yo, this is very reassuring. Oh man, what the magnet we got? Oh, we got a 4GT magnet. I don't think I got that yet. Let's just stick that right there. Put that there. Yep, that does that. Now check this Nippon. Yo, this box is so old. I've never seen this Nippon Denso logo before. Denso is like that. It says only Denso with the rectangle around it, and then Nippon Denso looks. I think it's in white. There it is. The vacuum advance for the distributor. I hope this works. I hope this is the piece that I needed. Well, I mean, this is the piece I needed, but I hope this is the right one. As I ordered it for an 82 1.8 liter Toyota Corolla with the 3TC. And you know I got the Frankenstein thing going on. So we're gonna get this thrown on probably in the next video, but I wanted to show you guys that I do have it. I worked this thing outside and I stood it up on its side because we're gonna open it up and look inside of it and see what's going on. You can see there's this orange stuff peeling off. I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping that it did its job, because that's what we need. Is we need to get all that rust out of there. So I'm about to buzz this off. We're gonna look inside of it. All right, so it's looking like it still has like surface rust in there. I'm trying to get this to focus. Yeah, it looks like it still has surface rust, and you can see the vinegar is still kind of clean. So I'm just gonna continue to see it's doing its thing though. I don't know if y'all see seeing those bubbles in there. So it keeps trying to focus on the wrong thing. Hold up. It's still not trying to focus, but you can see there's still rust in there. So I'm gonna put this back on, and you can see it's chipping off. All right, you see them white spots? It's coming off. So I'm just gonna let this do its thing. I'm gonna continue to let it sit and, you know, wash it around. I wasn't able to wash it around last night, so, or like move it to let the chain do its thing. So I'm gonna just keep swishing it around and letting it do its thing. So unfortunately the chain is stuck inside of it. There's like I guess the fuel return or something or other. There's a pipe inside and the chain is stuck inside. So Got it lifted up. I want to drain all the vinegar out of it back into the vinegar jugs so I can throw it back in. But I need to get that chain broke like free so that it can slide around and scratch, because that rust is definitely like off the metal or whatever, and it just needs to be scratched off. You'll see whenever I get it out. There's a bunch of stuff like flaking off of it. So essentially all I got to do is clean it and it should be all good. Yo, y'all don't even want to know the battle I just had getting that chain out of there. I've been out here easily. It's been easily an hour since the last clip. The chain got stuck underneath a baffle. Excuse me, that was disgusting. The chain got stuck underneath a baffle, man, and I barely was able to get it by, like, this is how much, man. I literally barely. And this is my longest dang pair of pliers. Look at this. I got it to the tip and I had to literally, like, bro, it was stuck. But I got it out. Thank God, yo, because whew, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was getting so frustrated. All right, so I've been after, like, just wiping down what I can, because it is coming off. This is like my third rag or something, and I don't know if y'all can see, like, it's wiping down, and it's, you know, it's coming off pretty well, but I can't get to it. That's not coming off, that hard spot, but I think it's just killed rust, if you will. I don't know. Same over here. You can see, like, a lot of the stuff, a lot of it just wiped off, but there's some, I don't know if that's pitting or what. So I'm just doing my best. I'm about to clean it out with, like, water and stuff. I gotta blow out, I think this is that L-shaped one is the fuel supply, and the return is right above it. You can see it doesn't even have like a thing, so that's got to be the return, because it just drops the gas inside the tank. So I'm gonna rinse this out with water and then put it all back together. This is as far as I'm gonna be able to get. I don't have sealer, I don't have the money for it right now, and I don't have 2 weeks to wait for it to come in, because I want to get this gas tank back in. So I'll just, in the future, I'll try this again. I'll probably take this to somebody. I'll probably take it to somebody to, like, turn it over on a rotisserie with, like, stuff inside of it, so they can really clean it and seal it the proper way. Yes, I'm laying on the floor next to vinegar, rusty vinegar. Okay, so at the moment, I started blowing out all of the things or whatever. This one and that one are, like, stopped up, and I don't know if it's because of these valves or whatever, but I got to change these hoses, and this is where, like this one goes across here like this, and that one comes across here and goes here like that. So actually you can see the X where the things are at, and assuming everything is good, it'll blow, the tank will blow through here. I don't know how this works, what this does and anything, but it's definitely not passing air through like super easy. All right, so I'm kind of glad I opened this up. I was a little scared to, but I'm glad I did, because look at all of this nonsense in here. This needs to get cleaned up. Look at that nasty. So let's clean this thing up, put it back on, and obviously change the hoses. Same thing with the other one. Oh man, so I got it all all the hoses replaced. All right, I got these both cleaned out real good. I blew air into all the hoses, made sure everything blew through. So this gas tank, I mean, it's still a little rusty inside, but there's not much I can do, man. I'm just gonna get a paper filter. My neighbor recommended I get a paper one because it grabs the rust a lot better. Obviously, a screen, there's, you know, particles can get past the screen. So I'm gonna put a paper filter on it and then just, you know, keep running it until I get the time to actually seal this thing and do it properly. This was just like, you know, this is what I could do. But you can see a bunch of rust came out. Look at all the rust that's sitting at the top of all that vinegar. And then, like I said, I wiped down as much as I could inside. It's a fuel tank, man. You guys already know. You can't open it, and it's this thing is 50 plus years old, so kind of is what it is, you know. If I can find a mint one, I mean, this is mint on the outside, but if I can find somebody to actually clean the inside properly, I'll do that. But in the meantime, it is what it is. All right, so I'm kind of at a point here where I can stop. I gotta go get my son from his baseball game. Everybody's hooked up, and I've got a diagram to put this the correct way, but it's missing the box that's behind here and the line that runs across the bottom on top of the fuel tank that goes to the other side of this. Like, there's a hose here and there's a hose up here, and on the other side over there there's a little hose thing. All right, and it, for the most part, it goes across and like through this thing and then into that that gold filter thingy that I didn't know what it was, and then it just vents. So eventually I'm gonna put a hose there that's long enough and then put that filter thing on the end of it and let it just vent to the bottom here. I have to buy a three-way, like a three-way T, so I can tee these guys. It's this one, that one, and this one right here, according to that diagram. And I should be done with replacing all the hoses. Like I said, I just got to buy a three-way, and I guess a hose long enough to go from the end of that all the way down to the bottom. So I might just not even put that filter and just run that hose all the way down so it doesn't vent in the car. Which, it did smell like gas when I got gas. Like, it'll smell like gas in the car whenever I get gas. So that's probably why, because it was just venting inside of this. So I'm gonna get a hose to go from there all the way down into this area where these hoses go. Now you can see they go right in through the chassis, and I'll vent it right through this guy. There's a hole that I can vent it there. So that's where I'm at. All right, so I went to the parts store, hopefully for the last time. I got the brass tee for right there, and then I've got two plastic paper inline filters. I'm gonna run one on the bottom and one in the front by the engine. So if the one by the engine gets dirty, then I know this one for a fact is filthy. So it's just gonna, you know, double filtration. So I'm gonna get back to it and get this T all hooked up, get that cover back on, get the interior of the car squared away, you know, via this, and then pop the fuel tank in. Okay, so I'm down here getting ready to blow out, well, I'm getting ready to blow out the fuel lines up front, but I put napkins with zip ties to see if it'll catch anything coming out. Everything down here is pretty much set up, ready to go. Alright, so I'm doing this one-handed, but we're about to learn this together. Doesn't look like there was anything on this guy. And then this one, you can see some chunks. There's some dirt that was in there. So maybe there was something and it blew it out. I don't know. But we definitely got some dirt out of there. And when I sprayed it, it was like, poof, you can hear it. So I don't know if there was, I mean, there was clearly fuel in the line, but I don't know if that sound was the fuel or what it was. But hey, we've got some dirt out of that line. And this guy seems to be pretty clean, the other one. Alright, I got the fuel filter, the new fuel filter on. I replaced this hose right here that I guess there is no return on here, but I vented it straight to this guy just to eliminate, you know, the issues or whatever. We're just gonna put it back the way my dad had it. Everything is tight. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Everything is tight up here, and everything's blown out. Everything's all good. So I'm gonna go back to the back. All right, so next day, what I have to do is clean out the fuel tank, like rinse it out with water, and line it with some gas and throw it in, or clean it out with some water, blow it out with air, get all that water out as much as possible, and you know, put it in, fill it with gas and all of that. So wish me luck, you guys. Hopefully this works out. Hopefully I don't have no issues. Shouldn't, because everything's pretty much new and cleaned out. And we'll go from there. All right, I got this thing all rinsed out. The water came out clear after like 4 passes of it. Obviously shaking it around and that. I rinsed the outside off, get all the dust and dirt off of it. Now I'm gonna blow it off with air, dry it down on the outside, blow out the inside as good as possible, blow out all these what's it called, the tubes and that, just to make sure there's no water in there. And then throw it in. All right, so yeah, I got it set up. That's old water, but I got it set up so that any water that falls either gonna collect in this area or it's just gonna drip out of that main big tube right there. Because you know these little ones, they go across or whatever. So this will sit here. I don't know, another 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and prep the rest of this stuff. I got that other fuel filter still to put in. And I got to figure out which one is the fuel supply line from the back so I can, you know, put this on correctly. These probably ain't gonna last long, but I wrote S for supply, R for return, just so I don't get these two mixed up. But I definitely still got to find out which one is the supply, which line is the supply on the car still. Okay, so I got the supply figured out, marked with an S right here. All right, so I need to run that fuel filter, the paper filter, in line to this guy, and this guy will just go to the back, even though it's not doing anything. So, because there's no return at all on this setup. Tires are dry rotting. We need to replace these tires soon, man. Super old. But now it's time to remove all the hardware for the fuel tank and drop the exhaust again. I'm gonna bend this hanger. What's up with this? I'm gonna bend this hanger because it's not lining up, and it's pushing, it's rubbing on this shock right here. I don't know, you can see this rusty spot. So I want to leave it where it's at so there's a gap like this, because before it was pushing up against it real tight. So I'm gonna bend this hanger over so that it'll just go straight up instead of pushing far that way and then up. Okay, I just want to give y'all a look. It's pretty much in, but getting this hose on is going to suck unless I like hook it up from down here, like bring it all the way down and pull it up through the top, but then I have to undo all the top again. So I'm gonna try and fight this thing for a little bit. I'm gonna lube up these guys. Oh, that's that. I'm gonna lube these guys up and see if it'll help slide these on, but you know, screwing the clamps on is gonna be the biggest pain. Okay, so I've got these two guys on, and boy, they have been the biggest pain in the ass, yo. Right now they're kinked because I got them pulled out so I can have some slack with the hose or whatever. So I just got them, the two over there on that side, this big one which should be easy, this guy, and then bolt this guy in. Right now it's hanging by 2 bolts in the middle, and it just, you know, it just needs to be pushed up or whatever, and then bolt it down. Alright, so I've got the fuel tank all mounted, and the exhaust has space between the shock. Look, I can fit my whole hand between the exhaust and the shock. And here, there's a space. It fits in between. It's tight, but you can see there's a gap. I can't see the screen, so I don't know if y'all can see, but you can see there's a gap there. It's like a 1/2 inch. So, look at my hair. I look like a lion. Raw. But it's all in, man. That sucked way more than I'm willing to admit. Yeah. Now I can focus on the end game here. These are the last things to put on. Fuel supply and return, even though it doesn't have a return, and the final fuel filter. This is in case I need hose. Any more? I think I'm, after this, it's all the main stuff is done. I'd have to button this stuff back together, which I'll knock out real quick off camera, and then that's it, man. And then put gas in it and it's done.
Alright, so I got the fuel supply on with the filter going to the carburetor. It ain't pretty, but it ain't touching here, so that can't rub through. These guys are nice and tight, and it's got a good amount of space between the pumpkin, the rear end, and this, because I know when the suspension hits, this moves up. And sorry for the weird angle. I'm laying underneath the car, and you know it's kind of weird, but everybody's nice and tight. Right, it might seem like it, but the barb is up here. I know you can see the lump. That's why this is like that. Just got the hose slid all the way on. Everybody's nice and tight. All right, you can see that one. That one's nice and tight too. They're all good. I'm ready to put gas in. It's about time. Time to put in some gas. I'm gonna start off with like 1.5 gallons, just to see if there's leaks, and then make sure the bottom is good, and then I'll start dumping in, you know, way more gas. So I'm just gonna do this off camera. Unless I see leaks, then I'll show you guys what's going on. All right, I just dropped 2.5 gallons in. Let's take a peek. Drain plug's nice and dry. Oh wait. Filler neck's nice and dry. Drain plug's nice and dry. All right. Level sender's nice and dry. So I'm gonna keep sending. I'm gonna put the rest of the gas in, fill it up. This hose is a little funny looking. I can't really do much about it. I went ahead and it was like kind of straight, so I kind of angled it, so it's definitely not kinked. Okay. As much as this looks like this, I mean, it kind of is what it is because of the way the hose is. So that's why I got the fuel injection hose, because it's double lined. So if something was to happen, I got some protection. But you can see it right there, fuel injection hose. All 7 gallons are in. That's just water. Right at the end, like, I spilled mad gas on the side of the car. So I wanted to wet it, rinse it off real quick. But check, no leaks. What about these guys? Nice and dry. All right, yeah, everything's nice and dry down here. That's good. All right, I'm gonna try and turn it on. I'll crank it forward, get fuel up to the front, see what happens. This is the time right now where I find out whether all that work paid off or not. Hopefully it does, fingers crossed. Okay, here we go, guys. I haven't done anything at all. Haven't started the car, obviously. I haven't done anything whatsoever with it. So, yep, that's all connected. Let's go. It's gonna crank and crank, but it should start. Battery power, got battery. Let's go. It's gonna, that's fuel that's in the carburetor. It should turn off, unless yeah, it's gonna turn off. I don't see any fuel in that filter whatsoever. Oh, there it is. Fuel's coming up. That's kind of dirty. I guess it is what it is, man, to be honest with you. Alright, so it's definitely running, and it's running better, but when I hold the idle up, it's like watch, listen. So I need to call that dude back so that we could put the vacuum diaphragm on, so we could tune it properly. Then it will be perfect and have no problem. So it's running again.
and I've got fuel up to the filter, so I'm happy. I was trying to get some car wash footage for y'all, but I don't want to drive it while it's running like that, so I'm gonna just end the video here. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.